I, I think I sent it to you in DM. All right, we live. Welcome everyone to the glorious 9/11 stream that I cooked up, and I have the man himself, Hawk here. Say hello
Hello.
to everyone, to all the zero viewers that we have right now.
Hello, zero viewers.
Yeah. So how's it going?
Um, Fine. Not much has happened. Um, Been a bit boring, really.
In, in case people haven't heard you before, you have a new microphone.
Yeah. So, hopefully it sounds a lot better.
Yes, definitely sounds a lot better. I can protest that.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
sound like I'm underwater anymore.
the sunken island of England, as we know
Hooray!
it.
I'm
Excellent.
still
Like,
just trying to get used to how far away I have the mic away from me
yeah,
and and stuff, and try not to get too much of an echo.
mm. Yeah. So you're still gaming, I guess,
Yeah, yeah.
as it should be. All right. Well, I have been working on the Fallout video. Like I did, I think a couple of days ago, Team Fortress 2 stream, and I was dumb enough to not enable the game sound for the stream, so it was only me talking, and it wasn't quite the content that I was hoping for. But I still have fun. But in that stream, I think I talked a little bit about the process of where the video is right now.
hmm
I think I need roughly a month for it to be released. And
A whole month? Oh my god!
yes, I only completed like 10 minutes of it with the intro and the first episode because my brain hurts from all the things that I keep noticing. Like, it's it's even worse. It's a lot worse than the Bebop video because the Bebop one, like, there's some kind of like enjoyment of like how bad it is, but this one
Yeah.
is just painful. Like the fact that there are people who claim that this is a good adaptation is bad in itself.
No, it's a terrible, terrible show. I'll be honest with you, I've completely forgotten about it.
It's just yeah, I had to rewatch some of the episodes to get the context again, and
Un
it,
Until you've mentioned it just now, I've not thought about that show since we watched it.
same. I haven't
I've
edited the
been too
video
busy
in a
watching
couple
it.
of weeks now, and then I reopen it, and it's like, oh yeah, they land a bunch of raiders that they obviously know that they are radiated, and then oh well, after coming inside a vagina, then the radiation starts.
hmm That's how it goes. Trust me, I'm an expert.
Yeah, that's how you know that like that car ejaculated because the radiation levels suddenly rise.
Oh yeah, if you're having sex and your Geiger counter doesn't go off, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. At least 800 times the radiation needs to happen for that.
Yeah,
Uh,
a successful insemination.
it was a virgin birth.
So, since you've got me onto the stream, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to do?
Well, was thinking of like maybe we can cover a little bit of Dragon Age because you really love that thing, don't you? Like you're looking forward to the fourth game.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't
please.
wait to pre-order that game
Yeah,
on the
no,
PlayStation 5 Pro, which is $700 without the stand.
I do not want to touch that game. That game just looks like a terrible, terrible mistake.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I,
certain, like 32 of the 50 states, you could easily still abort it at full term.
like I've only watched the tech demo. Was it that
Oh, the gameplay trailer
yeah, the gameplay trailer that was like half an hour long, and it felt
that had
like
no gameplay.
someone was babysitting an RPG player the whole
Mm.
game, and
You kept
the
pressing
voice acting
A.
was just the voice acting was so disinterested.
Yep. It's. I'll be honest with you. The whole thing screams. At the start of the year, after the layoff, the people at EA said you must make something by the end of this year, and they've just cobbled together whatever they can find, and they've just shoved it together and gone, "Oh, we're really LGBTQ by our game."
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
so
okay,
far, that's a good point because so far, like two of those styles have completely fallen flat, like Dustborn and what the fuck was that? Concord.
yeah,
That, I completely ignore. I didn't even follow that. That they have been developing the other one for 8 years.
oh
And
yeah. Well, Dustborn was it that was developed? No, which one? The Concorde was for 8 years, wasn't it?
Concord was the Overwatch clone that was supposedly inspired by it, but it's just falls flat on its face right away.
What it was shut down after 2 weeks.
Yeah, it shut
Oh yeah,
down
because
after 2 weeks.
that guy posted that he's never been more proud of his work on Concorde, and it's like, mate, you wasted 8 years of your life for a game that didn't even get like 690 sales.
Yes, and it's just a bunch of immature, amateur freaks that he doesn't need to care about their opinions.
Yeah,
You're making your game for those immature freaks, dude.
it's just the whole thing crazy. And now that Dragon Age of Veilguard's come out, and honestly, I it's taken me a long time to realize, but boy, did Inquisition really retcon that entire series into the pile of shit it is today.
It is, but how did it have a fan base? That is my biggest question. Like, how did it achieve Game of the Year status? Like,
Um,
because it's so empty. Like,
it achieved
if you
it
play
because it was
like
the only game.
Origins, you expect something more than that.
No, it achieved Game of the Year because it came out after Witcher.
Yeah,
It came the year after, and so they couldn't give it to Witcher again. And I think it was 2014 when it came out.
2014.
Um,
Yeah,
nothing else was. It was a really bad year for gaming, so Inquisition won it. But
yeah.
Inquisition just literally retconned the entire series. I've had this argument online before because, as I keep being told incorrectly, Dragon Age was always woke. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was an
Uh,
actual living, breathing world with different
yeah,
cultures
a
merged
few
with each other.
a few homosexuals and a rock person is gonna prove that it's an LGBTQ game. Yeah,
It's like if you actually replay Origins, there's there's very little LGBTQ stuff beyond um, Zevran, who's from Antiva, likes a lot of sex. It's
yeah.
like, okay, and Leanya is bi because she's
Yeah,
a bard that wants to
unfortunately.
sleep with people. And you're like,
Yeah,
okay, what else is there? And it's like, there's nothing really. And
yeah.
it's like, oh no, but it was really woke. I'm like, guys, the Canary literally have traditional gender roles. Don't believe that women should be anything other than priests and working in the kitchen. It's like there's stuff in here like women don't have any like positions of power, or rarely
Yeah.
positions of power.
Unless they are in the chantry.
Not even with that, yeah, but there's still priesthood.
Yes.
And it's a bit like, right, okay, if you go to Dragon Age 2 and all they can ever say is, well, the romances are all bi. It's like, yes. And it's like, yeah, but the homosexuality, everyone's gay and all that. Literally, Anders' first mission hints at the fact that he's got a male lover, and that was seen as bad in the Chantry and the Circle. So if homosexuality is accepted, why
Based.
couldn't? No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
And it's like,
It
okay,
kind of bothered me that like they changed Anders from the DLC
yeah,
because he
from
got
Awakening,
really annoying.
yeah. Well, and the thing is like, I'm talking to people. It's like, you do know that I'm literally going through the first two games with my girlfriend to show her everything, and it's like, so I've got like up to date knowledge of what the games are like, and
Yeah.
they're nothing like what you're saying. And then I realised, oh, hang on, you're like 16. You've only ever played Inquisition, if that. And it's like
Uh,
all your knowledge comes from Inquisition, and Inquisition is a massive clean slate retcon of the entire series.
yeah, that is such a strange thing for me that like there are people who go backwards. That they start with the Inquisition, then they go up to two for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, and finally go to Origins because I, I don't know if you remember that terrible tweet. Like there's mostly only those nowadays, but there was a guy who was saying that like he doesn't like it that Dragon Age is like associated with this edgy, dark fantasy genre, even though like it was written on the cover of the game box.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, because
But,
I showed that post. Yeah,
even you made a photo of that, yeah.
yeah. He went. It's never been Dragon Age has never been called a dark fantasy, and I literally found the Xbox 360 case out that says the dark fantasy.
Literally, the game trailer for the Dragon Age Origins has Marilyn
Mm,
Manson playing.
yeah, yeah. This is the new shit. Yeah, good song. Um, it literally says the dark fantasy from the creators of Mass Effect. It's like, yeah, so he's like, no, 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 it's not dark fantasy. I got my Kunari who's gay and has sex with her. It's like, yeah, okay, you played Inquisition. No, Inquisition, yeah, love Inquisition. He's like, shut the fuck up. We get it. You're a teenager on Tumblr that likes to jack off to your own fucking drawings. That's
I,
it.
I'm still asking my friend who said like his favorite Dragon Age is Inquisition. I keep asking him like which part, and then he said
Mm-hmm.
like the heroic death of Hawke. He liked it. I said like where was that heroic?
He liked the what?
But yeah, you know, there's an option that like you can send the Grey Warden to die, or you can
Hawk.
leave
Yeah.
Hawke to die. Yeah.
Yeah, in the fade section, but against the Nightmare
Yes.
Demon, yeah. He liked that because Hawk's heroic.
Heroic. Yeah.
Right. Um, we must have played a different game. Because
Maybe
that's
he
not
played the modded version.
because it's such a terrible like no Dragon Age hasn't got the greatest cutscenes. But watching Hawk shake a stick at a giant spider creature um, isn't heroic. I think it's actually a really terrible way for the character to go out, and it feels like a massive ass pull, especially considering
Yes, yeah.
um, well, then again, the whole game's about destroying what came before it. I mean, the reason why the game starts with the mages and templars getting blown up is to tell the audience we're not doing that storyline. Forget everything you know about the previous two games, what we're building up to. This is a brand new slate.
Oh my God! Did Ryan Johnson direct Inquisition?
Hmm. I mean, look at this now with Veilguard. Veilguard's all about Solus and these new elven gods, or
Yes.
against well the elven gods. And it's like, oh my god, we've been building up to it. And then you look back at how the story's gone. Dragon Age Origins never mentioned anything really much about um, the Elven Gods beyond codexes and
Codex. Yeah,
stories.
it's very like a throwaway information, like lore,
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah,
of world building.
yeah. Dragon Age 2 did the exact same, right?
Yeah.
Dragon Age Inquisition did the exact same until the last 5 seconds of the game, where they revealed that Solus was and Fen'Haral.
Yeah.
So, 3 games in, it never built up to anything, apart from the last 5 seconds. And then all of a sudden we're now meant to be told, oh, it's been building up to this. It's like, no, it hasn't. It's just been pulled out your fucking asses at the last minute.
Yeah. It's I don't know if you remember too much about the Knights of the Old Republic series, like the first two
I know,
games of
I know
the
absolutely nothing about them. I never played
Really? You
them.
haven't? The,
No,
the, is that, I don't believe you. But the thing is that
no,
like
I know, I really didn't. I know there's a guy called Revan, and he's supposedly a cool dude, and I hope
so
he's all right.
yeah. So like the first game, like it's a pretty good one. Like BioWare like used to make good games, but like the second one was given to Obsidian to write, and I think
Mm-hmm.
like BioWare got like so jealous of their writing style, like that they can make a story out of something that cannot really be followed because it was just like had such an epic ending.
Yeah.
It kind of like mirrors like what they have done with Origins. It's like how do you continue a game like this, like story? And then two delivered somewhat. Like they didn't had enough time to develop it. Like it only had like 10, 12 or 18 months for it. Like they had to
Mm-hmm.
ship it quickly. So BioWare was
What
planning
year?
to like make a third
What
game.
year? What the Knights of the Old Republic? What year was that released?
2003, and the sequel was released in 2004, like a year after.
Because you know what's funny about that, with having
Yeah,
short development time. With Dragon Age 2, it had 11 months
yeah.
of development time, and
It
it
still
just
turned
seems
out to be a better game. So,
Dragon Age 2 compared to what's been coming out recently. I think it shouldn't get as much slack as it did. There's issues. There's a lot of issues, and I'm finding them obviously as we go through.
a lot of reused
Um,
content.
oh yeah, you know once you play with DLCs, by God, you we recently finished the Legacy DLC, and
Yeah,
my,
never
my
never
my
touched the DLCs.
it's great. Oh, honestly, writing fantastic, characterization is fantastic, pacing fantastic. It's really really good. And it makes you wonder if they'd been given more time, what the game could have been like.
Damn.
It was really good. We're doing Mark of the Assassin right now. Not as good as Legacy, um, but that's mainly because of that. What was it her name? Felicia Day, who for some reason was the big thing at the time,
Yeah.
and she's like forced into it. And the character of Talos is terrible.
Well, that tends to happen with BioWare extra stuff. But yeah, like what I was trying to like make with the King of Knights of the Old Republic games is that like BioWare eventually went with the MMORPG route,
Hmm.
and it was a far cry from their original plan because like the graphics were not like what they were advertising in the trailers because they were showing that like it's gonna be like a lot of action and such, and uh, none of that. Like
Hmm.
the world was huge and all, but they did a giant ass pull with the story. So basically it's 200 or 300 years after the original events of the games, but
Hmm.
Revan and all those other legacy characters, but most of them that survived are still there. And the story is that like the character that you went through with the second game was almost about to face the evil bad guy that's behind everything, but they kill her off screen. You don't even see that, and then you get
No.
to play with the entirely new Jedi, and somehow he manages to kill the bad guy. So it's it's like it gives you a giant fuck you to the two characters that you played through the first two games,
Yep.
and then gives like, oh well, this new guy managed to do the impossible because he was the chosen one, but not the guy that was promoted as like, oh well, he is destined to do that. Kind of like it's almost exactly like Dragon Age, because like the hero of Ferelden and what the fuck, like Hawke, it just doesn't get any respect from them.
Oh no, the hero finally is spat on repeatedly,
Yeah,
and the reason he gets spat on repeatedly, and this is something else in the Inquisition, is the hero for Ellen has always been portrayed as a male warrior, which is one of the Kuzlans and
yeah,
everything. And the default import to Dragon Age 2 is male warrior who survives the idea of the Dark Ritual of Oregon, obviously fought as Kieran. So that's the default. And that's also what I think 85 to 90% of the player base did in
yeah.
regards to choices. And so when Inquisition came out, they
Kind of
changed it.
like Mass Effect when most people
Yeah,
were male shepherd, and now it's
yeah.
like forced like, oh well, the female shepherd is the canon one.
Well, yeah. And
Yeah, so it's
for
too.
Inquisition, they changed it to a female Dalish who died. And obviously, even with them changing it for the default import, more people imported their male wardens through. But the thing is,
Yeah.
they keep him away, and they keep separating. But it's only because he's got a family, because he's a male with a family. They
He's
can't
the
have him.
he's the only normal one.
Hmm. And then it's like Hawke comes along, and they just disrespect Hawke completely by turning him into this desolate loser. Especially considering what they planned for Hawke originally.
Yeah, because like was originally to be the protagonist of the third game.
Yeah, because the whole thing was Dragon Age 2 was about his fall, and then Inquisition, whatever it would be called, was about his rise
Yeah.
and redemption and everything like that. But they just scrapped it. And another issue with Bioware, they can't do overarching plots. They can't do
They,
it.
they can, yeah. There's- And
They
they can't
can't.
do endings at
No, they
all.
can't. They can do if they think it's going to be a one-off game, they can do an ending. As in, they thought Dragon Age Origins was going to be a one-off,
Yeah.
so they did endings. But after that,
Yeah, fucking
any game
Morrigan
with
is the canon ending for me.
the fact that Morgan's in this new one as well. After everything that's happened, you're like, she
But
has no more story.
but how? It's like
She went to leave. She left the Inquisition to find the hero for Elden, or goes off and everything like that. And now she's back again, and it's like, right, okay. Keep in mind that the game's set in 952 Dragon, and that's 10 extra years. It's been 20 years since Dragon Age Origins.
yeah, it's doesn't make any
So,
sense.
hey ho, this game's gonna flop. It's gonna absolutely flop, and it's gonna have. It's just gonna be people are gonna buy it, play it, and it's just gonna be what the hell is this? I mean, wait until people realize Varric's gonna die.
Well, I think unfortunately in real life the voice actor of Duncan, better known for his Fallout voices, Easy Pete and such in New Vegas, has
Mm-hmm.
passed away today. So,
Oh, jeez.
but he is not making a comeback. That's for sure.
Well, no, well, Duncan isn't. Duncan's been dead since Origins. But what I mean is,
I know, but they can resurrect like whatever the fuck they want nowadays.
well, the thing that I think will piss a lot of people off is the fact that Varric's only seen in that opening bit, even in all like trailers and everything like that, and
Yeah.
Bianca gets destroyed. He's gonna die.
He's definitely going to die. Like I think like he's
Mm,
gonna die in the first few hours of the game. In fact,
yeah,
I have a hunch that the game's gonna begin that like you're already way past all the events from the Solus one, and the entire Solus event is gonna be a flashback, and then you
yeah.
got teleported to the current day, and
Hmm.
Solus is dead. You're alone, and you need to build your team.
Oh wow, so original. It's not like Inquisition at all. The game was actually Inquisition 1.5.
Yeah,
They're gonna just redo everything all over again. And this is one of the issues with like, especially the Dragon Age series. They with the low sales Dragon Age 2, they literally went, oh well, we'll just make a new hero each time and reset the story, and you start at ground zero again. And so, like you say, there's only so many stories you can tell in Dragon Age. And so far, of the 4 games, 3 of them have been about the end of the world. It's
I
like,
am
right,
so
okay.
I am so fucking sick of the same like end of the world plots. It's
It's
just
like I say, Dragon Age 2 had such an actual original plot, as in, like, the 3 acts, you getting money, then the Canary problem in the city that you have, and then finally it's the tensions between mages and Templars that have been brewing throughout the entire game. Obviously, it's
yeah,
not amazingly done, but it's different.
and it's like consistent to the theme of the game.
Mm,
That like they're like way extremely opposing factions. Like
mm,
how yeah, you playing the peacekeeper pretty much.
yeah. How can you keep peace when both sides want to fight each other?
That is an interesting thing because like all it comes down like Dragon Age for the most part is that like how you communicate with the
Mm,
people well not Fred
yeah.
but the environment you're in. and it's
Yeah,
like it is repetitive, of course, but parts of that. But like that character part of Dragon Age 2 is just so well done. I don't know
mm.
what the fuck they had for those games, but he did an excellent job.
It's like even me and Smud have said the you always want to play sarcastic Hawke in Dragon Age 2 because he's such a unique and interesting character, and he does respond how you would in a city that's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Um, where he's just like, I have no idea. You're all mad. What are we doing here? Like, are you insane? And it's just, I don't know. And then we go to the Inquisition, and what can you do with the Inquisitor's personality? Nothing. He's just a blank slate. And then we'll have this guy called Rook. And I'm telling you now, there's going to be chess puns everywhere.
There's gonna be, yes.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
like that is
you.
just like such a low thing to do.
I'm betting you 100% there's a line that goes along the lines of, "Oh, you think you're the rook and everything like that, but in fact you're just a pawn on the chess table of life."
And I am the king of this
Yeah, that kind of
game.
thing.
Ha ha ha.
How does it feel like being a pawn in the game and all this? And you're like, "Oh, sure."
And it turns out Solus was my pawn all along.
Exactly. Also, Rook. What a name is Rook?
It's,
Oh, we're gonna call our
uh,
hero Rook.
the car. My name is Rook. I'm here. I think it's a kind of name that you would come up with if they tell you that, okay, this studio is gonna go defunct unless you deliver a game under a year.
Yep.
Uh, okay, let's lie that we have been developing this game for the past decade.
Yeah, but there is no way. But then they said, "Oh, we've been working on the next Dragon Age since 2014." I'm like, "No, you haven't,
The
because you
biggest
moved on."
development is that the director has changed genders since the development of this project, but that isn't really positive. So I can't really name it like
What makes me laugh is they literally told everyone in the build up to Anthem that they like moved everyone over to Anthem and no one was working on anything else. Then Anthem failed and they're like, "Oh no, we actually have people working on these games." It's like, "No, you didn't." And then you had all these layoffs. It's like, "Oh no, we've still got people." No, you don't. You've got like a skeleton crew working on this. You
yeah.
And like another thing, they're going to make it like an always online um, looter shooter, pretty much. Now all of a sudden, it's single. In the
Which one?
last year, it's a single player,
Yeah.
and you're like, so that's changed very late in development. And then looking at how it's like designed and all that sort of stuff, everyone's like, "God, this feels like a mobile online game." It's like,
It
yep.
does. Yes.
And
It
it's like,
had at one point like every Unity game used to look like this
mhm.
because like it has like this very cartoonish like it has this Overwatch feel to it that you would see
Yeah,
like new Blizzard games, and but at the same time it feels like it's made by a political activist because like they just can't shut up at themselves. So it's
they
probably
are, but then again,
lot of
Bioware
women,
are a political activists. Though that's what they are.
lot of women working on this game.
Yeah, it's just gonna fail. I'm not gonna waste my time
It's
on it.
it's gonna do better than Concord because that didn't have any target audience, and
This is the issue is with Bioware, and as I've been told, because I'm not a real fan, supposedly, as I've been told by the blue-haired leftists, there's not that many of them, and the thing is, they're all cutthroat. The current fans, quotation marks. So they're all just gonna they'll turn on each other eventually, and there's just not enough there to keep it going because Bioware's scraping by as it is,
yeah,
and Dragon Age isn't their best-selling game series anyway. So, but
yeah.
Bellegarde,
It's
there's no point to it. It's gonna fail. It's gonna go
it's
really bad.
it's just like if this flops, like if the new Dragon Age flops, then that means that like that Mass Effect project's gonna be scrapped for the
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Another thing, look at what they're um, advertising with the game. So
Not
the first
nothing
thing,
that is like
well,
specific to the game. Like
no, no,
as in
the
like
first thing
what
they
we're
said
looking
is,
for.
oh, you can romance anybody, right? Okay,
Okay.
you're like, right. It's like, yeah, and everyone's like pansexual, right? Okay, what about the game? Yeah, but like, so if you don't have sex with anybody, they'll have sex with each other. It's like, okay, that's wonderful. What about the game? So anyway, about the sex, you're like, okay, so you're not listening to us. You're not going to tell us what's happening in the game. You're going to tell us, oh, you can have sex with pretty much anybody, anything. Right? Okay, so that's your target audience.
So anyway, about HIV,
Anyway, about monkeypox.
monkeypox.
Um,
What if you can get monkeypox in that game? And it's kind of like becoming a vampire in Elder Scrolls.
and then they show the gameplay trailer, and you're like, okay, let's see what it is. So they remove a companion from 3 to 2. So you're like, right, so a gaming mechanic that you've had since 2009, you've removed. It's like, yeah, you can't control your companions now, which is a gameplay mechanic since 2009. So it's like, so that's 2 things you've removed from the series.
Yeah.
You've got less talents and less skills. You're like, right, okay, so that's more stuff you've removed. Your companion's got less talents and skills. Right, excellent. And there's less things for you to do. Right, excellent. So you removed stuff. So you've taken away most of the stuff that was interesting about Dragon Age, removed it all, but you can have sex with everybody. It's like, right, what is this game? You've taken gameplay elements out. You've not added anything in. You've taken stuff out. What is this game?
And I don't know if you have mentioned the one where you can set the difficulty that you just can't die because it's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
easy. It's kind of
it's
like a
yeah,
journalist mode.
yeah. And it's like, and people have said, oh no, we haven't done it. It's like, they literally say here, in this interview, that is what the creators have done.
Yeah.
So this game is literally, at the base, from what I'm reading, just a tweeny romance simulator that just happens to have swords and shields. It's like, right, so that's the audience. I'm going to tell you right now, there's not a lot of those people in the gaming market. You're not going to sell a lot of games. You've taken the interesting stuff out of it. You've added nothing apart from, for some reason, sexual propaganda.
It
You
is,
can't.
yeah.
You cannot keep it. You cannot create a game based solely on that. And this is why I say they've had to rush it. They've had to scrape together what they can from bits and bobs over the years. They've had to get rid of stuff to make it easier. I mean, it's not open world. It's linear levels akin to Mass Effect 2. And I'm like, right, so we've taken steps back from even Origins now with stuff. When
They definitely cooked it up in a year. Like there's no
when
other excuse.
I'm trying to think, when Dragon Age 2 has more gameplay options and stuff than this game made in 2024, 13 years later, you have an issue. And when the only thing positive being coming out of the spokespeople and everything like that is what you can have sex with, that's not filling anyone with confidence beyond the people whose sexuality is their entire personality. You cannot.
Indeed.
You can't make a game. You can't make a successful game like that. You cannot give people nothing beyond pixelated sex and say, "Here you go." And it's like, oh well, that's not going to work.
It's. I was about to say that it's really concerning the amount of times that they have dumped down the game because the kind of advertising that they are doing is that what makes me think is that the current audience for Dragon Age is all these fan fiction loving. They don't want the game itself. They just gonna watch the YouTube videos and it's gonna crash and burn because of that. But it kind of reminds me when I don't know if you have followed it too much, but the Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
Just before it was released, like it was in early access, I believe, and there were like a lot of news articles about the developers being tired and even bothered by the fact that like the most people are just selecting the default white people
Yeah,
sets, and they don't want to go gay. And they're also like, because of the trailer for Baldur's Gate 3 featured like you can have sex with a bear,
yeah,
and somehow that game turned out to be good according to, but that the gameplay itself is representative of the original Baldur's Gate, so it's
hmm
not like a far cry from what people were expecting it to be, and the characters were done well as much that you stay for the gameplay as well, not just for like some weird fan fiction, and you have a
yeah,
lot of options yourself. So, but that is definitely not the case with Dragon Age, because Baldur's Gate 3 came out of nowhere. We
yeah.
can't say as much, but Dragon Age has like a lot of expectations to be done, and this is just bad. There's
It
literally nothing good about it.
no, nothing from anything they've released is good, and the only people celebrating it are literally people going, "Well, I can't wait to write my fan fictions about these characters." And you're like, "That's not a reason to buy a game.
Yeah, just
That
watch
doesn't keep your
watch,
franchise
watch a
afloat."
YouTube video.
Yeah,
You're really in the same part. Like there's no other reason.
no, it well, I just think it's just crap.
When is it gonna be released? I thought it would be released by now.
October.
October.
Was it end of October?
Dragon Age 4 release date. Yeah, the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
Literally Halloween. Oh, now
I
that
know,
is a nightmare. Now that is fucking scary.
I've noticed that the closer we're getting to the release date, the less marketing there is now.
Yes.
As in, it's gone really dark on the marketing, and I've not heard anything new about it.
You know what happened? They probably ran out of money.
Yeah, possibly could have been. Well, they spent all that money on which news um, website did they use that went defunct just recently?
Not Eurogamer, was it? Oh, was it Eurogamer?
I know, but somewhere had um, exclusive access to all the stuff.
Exclusive access to like some developer
No,
interview.
to everything.
Everything, really?
Yeah, it had exclusive access to everything, all the trailers, all the background information, all the interviews. And then, like the day later, it went defunct, and so we lost
Yeah.
everything.
And nobody archived that, right?
Yeah, no one did. No, so
Oh
Bioware
man.
lost all that marketing.
Oh man.
Couldn't happen to a
That
better
is so
company.
fucking hilarious.
It couldn't happen to a better company. I just
Ah.
anyway,
Well,
I've
you
spoken.
know,
Well,
like some things are better lost than found.
yeah, I'm telling you now. I'm going to put my reputation on the line, and I'm going to say if this game flops, Bioware limp on to the next Mass Effect game. The Mass Effect game is released, but it's like stripped back as well, and people just go, "Well, there's no point," and EA just go, "No, we're closing this down. We're losing more money than we're making, and you're not making any progress."
Yeah.
And between this release and obviously Mass Effect's release, more layoffs, everything like that, and they're down to literally a skeleton crew, and that's it. I don't see Bioware lasting much longer. You can't have consistent flops for a decade.
No. This is like getting way out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like
just
the last thing of any good sales was Inquisition, and even then, that's not enough sales to keep you going for a decade. So, oh, was Dragon Age. What else do you want to talk about?
Oh, it was Game Informer.
Yeah, Game
Somebody
Informer.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Exton Zero.
Oh, we've
Well,
actually got a viewer. Oh, I'm so sorry you have to listen to us.
no, we have 2 viewers right now.
Oh my god, to both of you, I'm so sorry you have to listen to us.
Now there are 3. There
Oh
are
no.
more viewers than towers used to be.
Oh, what? Now there are 2 of them?
Now there are 2 of them. Well, the other one, it was Fallout, but we have talked ad nauseum about it by now. It's
Oh,
uh,
the absolute state of modern entertainment.
it's
How have we got to this point where the stuff that's coming out is just the worst things ever?
yeah.
I never thought I'd live to see it.
What was the other one? Rings of Power, I believe. Like, I was so disinterested. All I saw
Mhm.
was now there are orc families, as in like there are
Mm.
orc
Yeah,
women and orc children, and
yeah.
Tolkien never touched upon like these parts, other than that they breed as well, and he was quite clear that they are like irredeemable evil, but
Hmm.
that kind of concept is too much. Like we
Oh,
gotta humanize the monster.
there's no black and white now. It's everything is grey unless you're a white straight male, then you're evil.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
that's literally how it is. So orcs have to be slightly good because there might be a white man somewhere who has
there
to be
might be a
evil.
white. There's a white man inside every orc.
No, it's not even that. It's the fact that orcs can rape and pillage, but they've got orc women and children. A white guy might have a little bit of power. That's bad. He's pure evil. He has to be irredeemable. That's the
Yeah.
way it's written. That's the way it's written.
Hmm.
Let's put it this way: Amazon fucked up with it. They spent $1 billion to get nothing. Then that's hilarious.
Oh, what is infuriating me is that like there are legitimately people who are interested in this series.
No,
That
no,
that
no,
that was
no, no,
crazy.
no, no, no. They're not interested in the series. They don't give a shit about the series. All they're interested about is, oh, a thing that is pushing my political ideology. It could be absolutely anything. It could be a bloke in a white padded room spouting Karl Marx's biography, and these people will rant and rave about how amazing it is. It does not matter what is on the screen. This is why the state of modern entertainment is so bad. You have people like me, you, and the vast majority of sane, normal people going, "What the hell is this we're watching?" And then you have the mentally handicapped, or as I like to call them, the left wingers, going, "Wow, this thing's just regurgitating my political ideology. This is amazing. Yeah, I know it's terrible and it's boring, and I'll never watch it ever again after the series is over or the movie's over. But I will always support it because it's my thing,
It is,
and that's
yeah.
it."
It is insane. Like they see like a little bit about themselves and then just go on
No, but it's
with
not
that.
even seeing a little bit about themselves. All they go is, the shows have terrible viewership. Yeah, there's loads of them on Twitter to call about how amazing it is. And you think, well, if they actually watched it, the viewership would be higher. And you realise, oh no, they see it's terrible, but it's spouting their ideology, so they support it. They'll never watch it. They'll never spend money on it. They'll never do anything with it.
Kind of like modern gaming fans.
Yeah, it's like Concord. What was it that guy who put that image up saying like I'm proud of my work? He got 5.9 thousand likes. That was more people liked that tweet than bought the game.
Yes. Like, I still remember that. Yeah.
What?
Or the Dustborn, when they Dustborn, what they did, because like that game only had like 60
Yeah,
current views or peak views. Like, it didn't even
it's
break 100.
it's
Like,
peaking right now at 13 players.
yeah. I think how many play does Left 4 Dead 2 have right now on Steam? I'm gonna check.
What's that new game? That Chinese one. Wukong.
The Wukong Black Myth. I think
Yeah,
that had like 2 million. Over
Yeah,
2 million.
they compared it because like IGN praised Dustborn and like
Yeah.
complaining about Wukong, and it's
Yeah,
like
the
Dustborn had
Wukong. The only negative thing that they said about Wukong was that like it's
no
it
diversity.
doesn't have much diversity.
And it's like, oh, you shouldn't play this game. And you looked at like the player bases and everything. It's like Wukong had 2 million players, and Dustborn had like 27. And you're like, oh,
Okay, Left 4 Dead 2 had in the last 24 hours the peak player of Left 4 Dead 2 was 24,665
mm-hmm.
players. That, that's a game
Pretty
from
good.
2009 on
Yep,
PC alone.
yep.
That's insane.
What's Dustborn got right now?
Dustborn. Let's see. Dust.
Because I'm not going to ask what Concord's got because that's gone. Hey,
Dustborn has a current play. You want to know the current players or the average of 30 days? Because current players is 11.
right.
30-day average is 25 and a half. How do you have half a player?
25 and a half people. What, did a midget get hold of it or something?
No, half a brain. Oh, there's also Dustborn demo, which has current players too. And
Wow.
this is so
Wow.
bad.
And this is my point. You'll see people
All time peak was 76. That is insane.
and this
Nobody
is what I
run
mean.
this game. Yeah.
And this is what I mean. They will go onto Twitter, they will go onto YouTube, they'll make videos about how great it is and how wrong quotation marks the right wingers and the fandom menace and all these people are. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, but are you watching it yourself if you love it that much? Or are you playing the game? And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm just supporting it because of its political ideology.
Yeah. Concord has current players of 3 right now. And
And so that's a shoot. So all those three players are playing together.
yes, but they can't really play it anymore because after September 6th, they have shut down the game. But they are still logged into the game. I don't know why. Is that all the 3 creators of the game?
Do you remember? I think they're trying to do remember Halo 2 when we were on the servers for ages.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they said as long as someone's logged in, they can't shut them down.
Yeah, I
It's like,
remember
do you
that.
think they're trying to do that?
They're probably trying to do that. Yes.
But no,
Then suddenly the game crashes, and then like, oh no.
oh no, whatever will
So
I do? It's like you just move on to the
what will I
next
do
slot.
now?
You just move on to the next slot, but you're not going to play.
And Team Fortress 2 has 52,000 players.
What's Dragon Age got?
Dragon Age. Dragon Age, let's see. Because there's all the Dragon Age games. Inquisition has currently 1K 700 players. And then
Okay,
Origins has 1K players. Dragon Age 2 has 545 people playing
yeah,
right
it's not
now.
too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, for games, let's say Dragon's Origins is 2009, Dragon Age
Yes.
2 is 2011, and Inquisition is 14.
And they are like single player games, so you can't
Yeah.
really have multiplayer content.
Hmm.
Damn.
But this is what I mean. They don't. These people don't. The people who what modern entertainment is being tailored towards don't interact with modern entertainment beyond
They don't.
Twitter and a YouTube video, and the number's so low that it's pointless to even put them into a demographic.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy though, because guess what the peak all time peak for these games were?
I don't know what.
Okay, I think like Dragon Age 2 wasn't on Steam because of EA's
EA.
like stupid shit, but the peak for Dragon Age 2 was 1,400 players.
Right.
For Inquisition, that's 5,000. And
Mm-hmm.
for Dragon Age Origins, that's 8,254.
That's a lot.
That's like almost double. Well, almost like 1.5 of like what Inquisition did.
Mm.
That's and that's a game 5 years before that, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I say, they're not tailoring anything to, you know, the actual people who play games, the actual people who interact with it. It's all tailored towards a political thing, and you're like, there's only so much politics can get you.
Yeah.
And the things that what I don't think people realise, especially on the left, is that with politics, you're always going to have a pushback no matter what you do with it, no matter how well it's put in. And
Mm.
you automatically, if you put your own politics into it without any other side to balance it out, you're going to lose 50% of the market because they're just not going to get it because they
Absolutely.
disagree with your politics.
It is a
So,
waste. It is a complete fucking waste to put current day politics in there.
no, it's not just kind of politics. Everything becomes 2020's California, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm so
Uh,
I'm so glad I'm
as
playing my medieval war game that's where everybody talks like a Californian, acts like a Californian, has laws like California.
the biggest joke is that what it comes down like even like what we saw in the Fallout show is that almost every single original creator of Fallout didn't like that part of the show,
Mm.
like how they depicted and like how they are having this hard-on message that uh, capitalism is the source of all evil, and that's
Mm.
the message of Fallout. Like you you can't have the little creator. Like I don't know because they are Canadians, so Dragon Age original creators like don't really want to get out their way, go out of the way to like tell like their true feelings, like how they feel about these new games. But they are surely like pissed off because there's
Mm.
no way like the people that created like Origins is like looking at Dragon Age 4 and like, wow, we have gone so far, and
This is
now we are like
exactly where
new
we
people.
thought we'd end up.
This is exactly what I was thinking when the hero of Ferelden made Destiny come true.
Yeah.
It's, it's such a fucking bullshit.
It, the thing that gets me is the fact that like you say, they just turn everything into the same old stuff, and you're like, right, well, there's no point. I've seen everything. I know exactly how all this plays out.
Yeah.
So, oh man, why is it so crap? Why is the world terrible? Why is
This is
everything terrible?
this is the character development that we have to go through.
But I feel like we've been talking about the same stuff for years now.
Yeah, it's just like the title changes. Like
Yeah,
we have the exact same problems about these things, except like they keep changing the IP. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Marvel
They
movies,
just
Star Wars. They all boil down to the same thing.
Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, so Lucasfilms, and then you go on to Fallout, then BioWare, and then Obsidian, Bethesda, and EA,
I
and
think like they
Blizzard, and
recently,
Activision. And you're like, oh my god, it goes on and on and on. It never stops.
I believe like I have saw a news that they have picked up like another old IP, like an old video game that they wanted to adapt into live action, but I can't remember that because it's like every week there's a news that they're gonna adapt something new, and they got I think like the craziest one was the news about like what's that like Michael Bay is going to make a Skibidi Toilet movie.
Oh, fucking Christ, Joe.
It's-
You can. I'll be honest with you. I can tell that I'm getting old because I know about it. I've never actually seen it, and I'm just like, I've reached 30. I'm too old for this shit now. I have two children. I'm too old for this shit now. I don't want to.
it's oh, fuck man. All I care about is like, oh man, That is sad news. Anyway, I'm gonna go back and play video game, like my free
Oh,
time that I have.
yep. Whenever they announce something, I'm just like, they're gonna make it gay and left wing propaganda, and we'll see how it goes from there. And then it's
Every
gay and left wing propaganda, and you're like, right, okay, and you're like,
every single thing that they have recently like remade. I think like the recent game that was what was that? Lollipop Chainsaw, which
mm-hmm.
was kind of like a interesting game because I think it's the guy who directed the Guardians movies, who was the director of that game.
What,
So
James Gunn,
yeah, James Gunn directed that game. So
right?
it had a lot of inappropriate things for the current age, and they did
Yeah,
exactly that. I think like the main character has like these. It has like this comic book style that you have like a little bit of description about what uh, the character is about, like attributes and such. And there's a small change that they erased a trait of the main character, who was just an 18-year-old girl, that she likes it when people compliment her that she's not fat. And
right.
that is just the kind of shit that it's literally called Lollipop Chainsaw, because like she's going around with a chainsaw killing people, and they are concerned about like fat jokes or what, like Dead Rising, the
Yeah,
Capcom game, like that is also censored because modern audience and shit like that. People have a
it's
PTSD, or that is just a racist reference to the Chinese. It's just like, yeah, I know, but that's part of the game.
they make everything so milk toast and boring,
Everything.
and
Even
then
Silent Hill.
they just like push the propaganda on it, and you're like, right, okay, fine, whatever. I know people get upset about it. I've just grown numb to it, to be honest.
I
Um,
same. I'm just like, only solution is don't give them any money if they
yeah,
don't
no, that's it.
deliver like what you want.
Don't buy it, don't play it. It just gets out. I read up on it, and then that's it. If I
Yeah,
want to know about it, I'll watch a YouTube video about it because you get as much information to that.
yeah. Like
I, I,
same.
I just
Go on.
my major pet peeve comes from the fact that people pretend um, that it's always been like this. It's like, no, it hasn't. It's like,
No,
yeah, it has. And I'm like,
absolutely
no,
not.
I lived through this time period you're talking about. So I know. And then you realise you're actually talking to like a 12-year-old kid who has no knowledge of the world. And it's like, oh, right, okay. They haven't left school.
Because all he played was Inquisition.
It's not even just got that. That's all players in position. What I'm saying is they haven't done anything with any of these games. They've joined the internet in the last 4 years, and it's like, oh, we know everything. It's like, no, you've never existed. You're like your childhood was behind a COVID door, so you have no knowledge of anything. It's like people go, oh yeah, this game in 2009 was blah 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 blah. It's like, no, it wasn't. I was there. It's like, no, you weren't. It's like, not everyone on the internet's a teenager. Not everyone in this like YouTube thing is a kid. There are people who are like adults who lived during this time. It's not so
Exactly.
long ago you could pretend that no one's alive from that time period. It's not 1832.
Let's go out to the fields, my fellow peasants.
Peasants, peasants had tons of vacation time. Don't
They
you
had
know?
tons of vacation time. They had back-breaking labor every single day. They had 10
Oh,
children, and maybe like two of them survived.
they also paid very low taxes. Just ignore the constant rebellions over high taxes.
That is insane. Like completely off topic from the like the shit that we talked about, but like
Yeah,
I keep meeting people who say like, "Oh, we had it so good back then. Like I could just work on my field and then have like my food." And then
that's
they
not how
don't
that
realize
works.
they don't realize. I I got recommended like a cooking show. Basically, it's done in an interesting way. It's Hungarian, unfortunately, but uh, so I can't
There's
really give an example. But the point is that
there's
like
always a downside, isn't there?
like the showrunner was like a complete leftist, like the kind of like seal dweller who lives in the capital, and then says like, well, buying meat is kind of expensive, and then you have to buy butter and those other things as well. And then, like, dude, you don't have to buy butter every single day. You just
No,
cut like a small piece, put it in a pan, you fry the goddamn food, and then have it done. You don't have to use like those things. And he was arguing that like, okay, like those kind of eating habits and such. And then was arguing that like, well, if you would redistribute land to all these citizens that we have, then we wouldn't have like this a real estate issue, and everyone could like be
Hmm.
doing gardening and then growing their own vegetables. And then he's literally trying to force people to leave their own properties, kind of like back in the communist times. Was arguing for like, oh, how good that would be, completely forgetting about that people are living there, and like not all of them are just hoarding all this land, and
no.
just like
The thing
giving
is
it
as
out,
well,
renting it out to people.
one one thing that always annoys me, especially growing up in the countryside and in small towns, is people think that farmers just waste land. It's like, no, every single inch of land is used for something
It is. It
to
is used.
like, so they can at least break even. And it's like you can't just until you've worked there or lived there or know people who work stuff like that, you can't comprehend the city life and country life are two completely different things. And it's about time people just realise city folk will never understand country folk, and country folk will never understand city folk. It's just not possible. It's just two different ways of life.
Yes. It's
But no, when I read stuff as I get older, I start to realise, God, my parents were right about stuff. And I hate to
yeah,
admit
yeah.
that. So I start saying the exact same things that my parents say. I'm like, oh my God, here I am. And then you
Yeah.
see what kids put on the internet, and you're like, oh God, you were an idiot. Like they've got this like fantasy view of the world that just will never work. Once you live in the world, you realise, God, this is not going to work. Like that guy. Oh, if we just went back to the medieval times, it'd be great. It's like, no,
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 like I don't want to die from plague.
it's not even dying from the plague. There's the fact that, oh, well, in money terms, they paid a lot less in taxes. It's like, yeah, but you know how much they earned? Do you know
Barely
what I mean?
anything to get by. Like they had to. They were starving and such things. If they had a bad season, they were
Hmm.
fucked. They had
No,
to
but you
rely on others and like get
no, Mark,
indebted
Mark,
to them
Mark,
as well.
Mark. No, they
Yeah,
didn't. They just went to the old McDonald's.
they went
And
to McDonald's, of course. Yeah,
yeah, it was just all this stuff because
they had
food
like
just
some
appears.
coupons for Costco and Tesco.
We had
Everyone had like
DoorDash.
a good kebab.
There was like tons of Moroccan or Haitian immigrants on donkeys that just went round and
Yeah,
sent their deliverers through to them and everything. So
we're delivering fresh kittens, deep
no,
fried.
that doesn't happen, Mark. Pay
That
no
didn't
attention to the
happen.
police
That didn't
reports.
happen.
It
But
did,
I
but
was
just pay no attention to the police reports.
pay no attention to the police report, especially when the guy was asking the lady to smile.
the
Oh man, yeah. Like
world, the world.
I knew that like this morning, like somehow like my news app on the phone that's like pre-installed and you can't delete it, like sent me a news that Kamala Harris has won the debate. it really pushed on Trump as like, oh, so that means that like she didn't answer any of the questions.
Yeah.
It kind of it exactly looked like a scene from Smiling Friends, season 2, where they have a political debate and they completely shut down the
Oh
opponent.
yeah.
It's
You have 1 second to respond.
you're a bad person.
You're a bad person. Please respond. And we're out of time.
End of time. Yes.
Mr. President,
That's
since you're so amazing and wonderful and amazing, we don't have to ask you any questions. Oh, the whole politics. My word on politics is it's all just a fucking sham now.
yeah. It
They do
sucks
not care.
living on a dictatorship.
Yeah, they do not care what you actually think. They tell you what you're gonna be, who you're gonna be ruled by. You cannot let your way out of anything.
Well, at least we can eat the pussy. I mean,
Oh man, you know when the police finally knocked down my door because I live in a tyranny in the UK, and I don't want
yeah.
this to be evidence, and it's just you saying at least you can eat the pussy. I'm like, Your Honour, I'm guilty as charged.
Oh, good lord! Like one of the Bobbies are watching my stream.
Mm.
uh, I remember like what was that? Like it happened like 10 years ago. Like Finland was advertising that they have a police force that's watching the internet for hate
Hmm.
speech, and they
Hmm.
will go to your house if you can be associated with any of those charges. And then they had like a happy music in the background, and then like they were dancing in front of the monitors while they were just harassing citizens for expressing themselves. uh it has gone so much better now.
Well, no, that's just the UK.
That's just UK now, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's like this
yesterday I saw like uh, I think it was from the Concerned Citizen profile on Twitter, and he
Mhm,
posted a video where it was just a guy filming a marathon, and
mhm,
two police officers approached him and said like, "You should move along," and he was literally like just standing next to the crowd, and then he said
mhm.
like, "You're in the way, and you have to move along." They just like they like to bully people.
Oh yeah,
They like
to
that
become
that minuscule power that they have.
to be a police officer in the UK, you must be naturally a dickhead.
Hmm.
You must naturally be like the worst person ever. You ask anybody in this country, have you ever had a reasonable interaction with the police, and everyone goes no. And that's not even asking, did you have a good interaction? It's just an interaction where you didn't feel like you were, you know, like the police weren't treating you like a piece of crap. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you never have it. And this Keir Starmer's just a complete tyrant, an absolute tyrant. But he's a communist. What are you going to expect? And
But he's kind of like a joke because like but a guy approached him like he was like standing next to like a pedestal or whatever the fuck,
a
and a
podium,
guy just a podium and uh, it's pedestal and he
he thinks he's on the pedestal.
he
Yeah,
got
the guy just
scared
comes
like
up to
he
him.
was shaking like next to the
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
was just like he looked like a gay man like he was shaking next to a gay guy.
yeah. But the thing is those are the worst types of people.
Yeah,
He's petty and vindictive and you know
yeah.
tyrannical when he knows he's safe and he can use his power against him. But when he comes
Mm,
face to face with someone who might disagree with him, cowards. That's the worst type of people
yeah.
because they're just slimy. But no, over here now, you get the police are viewing everything online. They'll try and find anything to arrest you. And the thing is they're releasing prisoners
Yeah, so
specifically
there's
so that they
room.
can.
So there's
So there's
room
room to
for
arrest people
wonderful.
for thoughts. One guy, they've released. What was it? I think it was 1,700 criminals today, and someone's already
How?
in. How? We just open the gates and let them out.
So they are like on suspended.
No, they're just free to go.
They just really go. They don't have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
return.
no. So anyway, one guy was released and he raped another person.
Who could have seen that coming?
Well, but the probation boards are like going, no, this is going to be really, really bad. And Cheers like, I don't care. Because the thing is, he doesn't care because he thinks the only people it's going to affect are white native Brits. And he
Yeah.
thinks, well, that's punishment enough. That's another punishment for them daring to say that I shouldn't be in power.
Well, two-tier policing is the
Oh, I
result.
think, yeah, it's 100% a thing. And it's been a thing in the UK for centuries now.
Yeah. So the solution is that we have to take on a voyage on the Red Dwarf and find Crichton and Cat, and then
God, someone said you could go there and be lost for 1,000,000 years into deep space. By God, I take it.
if you don't have to be in the UK or
Yeah. If someone just said that, yeah, I'd be like, can't take my family with me. Yeah, go on, let's go.
What if what's that? Because you have a cat now.
Yes, it's right next to me. Actually, you can eat food.
So now it can mutate into a black person.
Ironically, it is a black and white cat, like Frankenstein, the cat from Red Dwarf.
Well, now you just need some lager and the Vindaloo.
I've got them. It's sorted.
It's sorted, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, they're making some new episodes of that, soon.
They will?
Yeah. It's they're filming this year to be released next year.
That's perfect. Well, at least there's gonna be something to wash off the new Star Wars movie.
If that gets made. That's another thing. They say all these movies are going to be made, and then they never get made because no one cares, and there's no drive for it, and they lose so much money on other projects that they just. It's just a waste of time.
It's never gonna be made. It's absolutely never gonna. Like, what was that? I think like the craziest thing that I've seen posted is that the new Knives Out, like the third movie, I believe, from Ryan Johnson, gonna cost like over $200 million.
It's money laundering. It's got to be money laundering.
Because the first one was $40 million, which is like a decent budget for something that has like so many big name actors and such. But like $200 million is just like way too much. There's no way. Like you're directing a detective whodunit movie. Like, why would you need that much money? Definitely has to be the money. You're right.
Oh yeah, a lot of it is also money.
But why I love about him, but in a worst way possible, is that like he keeps like insisting that those movies are still going to happen. Because like he said, like, well, Disney didn't give me a call just yet, but like the plan is still on that I'm gonna direct a trilogy. And
but that trilogy of Star Wars movies that's never ever going to happen.
Never going to happen.
No,
it will never go away.
It's like that movie that Benioff and Weiss was meant to make after they left Game of Thrones.
Yes.
That's never going to happen because they completely destroyed their own reputation.
Yeah, that is still fucking funny. I loved it.
Imagine destroying everything about your career.
They haven't done anything since that, did
no,
they?
Thank God for that. It was terrible.
Yeah.
They were never any good. I don't know why people believe they're ever any good.
Like, all they did was just read the book to the point where
they're finished.
they can still like put together some pieces, but they went into complete foreign territory, and they were surprised at like, oh well, viewerships and ratings is going down. But I still remember when season 8 was coming out, and people were still hyped that like, oh my god, how are they gonna end it? And then it came out, it was blasted, it was
Hmm.
terrible, and
Yeah,
then it like it was gone. Like
yeah.
people don't talk about Game of Thrones anymore. Like there
No.
are some few scenes and characters that still pop up from time to time, like especially the first 4 seasons, but nobody really talks about it. And like it's crazy because like people used to like just go
Mm,
about ad nauseum.
yeah. Oh, eat. Sorry, my kid's crying upstairs.
Oh yeah, I can hear it. We're gonna
Yeah,
like wrap it up real
yeah.
quick in a few minutes.
Um, yeah. The only thing I'd add on about that is Game of Thrones is the biggest scam that's ever existed in media,
It is,
and I do
especially
actually feel sorry for for the fans. They got
exactly.
literally scammed by a fat, depressed loser.
Right now,
Um,
like he's saying that like he's not making it because of
oh, there's too much
fascism.
tyranny in the world.
Fascism.
Yeah, there's fascism in the world. I, he's a fucking fraud.
Like Tolkien wrote all three of those Lord of the Rings books while
Mhm.
World War II was going on, and like he was
Yeah.
concerned that like maybe his sons are not going to survive, and he was still like I think if memory serves me right, like this his son I what was it, Richard? No, not Richard. Christopher Tolkien
Yeah.
was the youngest. Like he was deployed in Germany, but Tolkien was still in the mainland to assist like with something. But like that is like awful to like go through like 2 world wars
Mm.
in a lifetime, and you're still like making content essentially.
Yeah, but Trump might get elected, so George R. R. Martin can't write anything, even though he's not written anything.
He never did. Like I hate every single interview that I have to watch from him because like they had him as like such a wise old man. Like he has
Oh,
like so much knowledge about life, and like he
he,
dodged the draft. He, he's like slacking off since like his young age.
he does. All he is he's a pessimist who got lucky with what he wrote,
Yes.
and now he's not interested. He's not interested at all. And I think he enjoys the fact that he upsets his own fans. 'Cause he's like, "Well, I've got your money, so it doesn't really matter."
He gets off from that, yeah. Like even like what I've heard is that probably the things that HBO did were actually his ideas. So that's why he doesn't want to continue the book because he doesn't know how to better do that. But
Yeah.
it's just no way, no way he's that dumb.
Hmm.
But yeah, anyhow, that was a nice little stream we did, and
Yep.
hopefully people remembered the big day when the towers unalive themselves. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Trust me, it was all right movie, Lord of the Rings.
what about Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings, Two Towers.
Yeah, the Two Towers, indeed. Yeah, there's a book about that.
Well,
Well,
what were you on about?
I completely missed that. I don't
I
know
don't
how.
I don't understand what you're on about. What's special about today? Because I think wasn't the movie released around this time?
Yes, in 2002, just right
Hmm.
after the event. That's
Mm.
what Peter Jackson was thinking. Maybe Peter
Yeah.
Jackson was behind 9/11, not Bush. Uh, that's like Revenge was 1776.
Have you seen the Stone Toss meme about
No, which one?
when he goes up to obviously there's that famous thing about with the informed President Bush about a second plane at the tower. He goes up to him with a second plane at the tower, and George Bush responds, "I know."
Y-
So
I
the
haven't
guy
seen
just
that
looks
one.
awkwardly at him.
Stone Toss 9/11. Let me see that. Oh, yeah, I have seen that. Yes. Oh, that's good.
But yeah,
Uh, well,
9/11 jokes used to be funny,
yeah. Now that
but
they are not
one of them sort
insulting
of blew up in
anyone.
my face, so I don't do them anymore.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you all our 5 viewers who joined
I'm
us
I
today.
am so sorry that you had to listen to two people at the edge of like sanity.
Talking about Dragon Age, Two Towers, and the media and such. Well, next
To the
time,
point
next time, I'm really gonna shit out that video for reals this time. And
I'm betting. I'm actually betting like four of our viewers are still only viewing it because they forgot to log out before they hung themselves from boredom.
we have to carry on somehow. Uh,
All this is just a lot of swinging. Just
that's how we like to live. All right. Peace out, everyone, and have a nice
uh,
evening.
by